Hello, I'm Eric Roby.
And I'm Marina Hardy. Welcome to Week in Review. Today we'll see how Eric and I stack up against the spelling bee champion, and Mark Chang will show us how to hotwire recycling bins. Making headlines this week. Check your cupboards and bring an extra list to the grocery store if you can. This month, the county is sponsoring 2 events that benefit the homeless, and we need everybody to chip in. The 2 events are slightly different, but all the food goes to the same people who are struggling to make ends meet in Anne Arundel County. First is the Healthy Harvest for the Hungry, a food drive that focuses on healthy choices. The best part of it is that it's really easy. You can leave a bag next to your mailbox from March 3rd until March 10th, and the mailman will take it away. All of the food goes to the county food bank. Here are a few items the organizers are hoping for. Sugar-free dried or canned fruit and applesauce, 100% fruit juices or low-sodium vegetable juices, brown or wild rice, low-fat powdered milk, whole grain rice cakes. There are many more items on the list. For more information, go to the United Way Central Maryland website at www.uwcm.org/harvest. Healthy Harvest for the Hungry only lasts through this week, so get your items together as soon as you can and get them out to your mailbox. You can also drop off the items at the Arundel Center or the local library. What a great idea to have a healthy food drive. It's so important to eat healthy and
Healthy. French fries are healthy, right?
No.
If I don't put salt on them?
You don't put salt on them. If you
They
have
could be
vinegar,
healthy. Because
vinegar is good.
potatoes, I try to teach the kids all the time, potatoes are vegetables, right?
Yes.
French fries are made out of potatoes. So really, I'm eating vegetables.
I agree. My dad's into the juicing thing. He's doing the juice diet with all the healthy vegetables
Good
and
for
juices.
him.
So
Good for him.
it's very
Cleanses
important to be eating the fruits and veggies.
Very important. Let's all be healthy. Well then, Marina, we have the main event at the end of this month. It's the 5th annual Homeless Resource Day at Glen Burnie High School. For this one, we're collecting a lot more items. The event brings individuals and families who are homeless in for a wide range of services, from a haircut to an identification card to job training and housing assistance. The organizers are looking not only for food, but also some essentials we all take for granted. A few of these items include tube socks and underwear, new blankets for adults and children, bottled water, plastic forks, spoons and knives, pop-top canned meats, and loaves of bread. For a full list of items needed for Homeless Resource Day, go to www.aacounty.org and look for Homeless Resource Day in the news headlines on Anne Arundel County's website.
Well, Eric, good news here. The county might see a little more green this year because there's a lot less of the white stuff. Of course, I mean the snow. We barely got any this year. It's wild. Remember Snowmageddon 2 years ago? That cost the county a whopping $10 million to clean up, just in Anne Arundel County alone. That's an impressive number. This year, thanks to milder temperatures and more rain than snow, we've spent less than $200,000 responding to snow and ice in the county. Now, let's not get ahead of ourselves. It has snowed in March before. Eric, how much snowfall do you think is the record for the county for March?
Well, I can tell you, Marina, I remember a March. I was actually, this was back in the mid-90s, I think like 95, 96 time frame. We had a huge snowfall middle of March. I remember I was in Ocean City in a school-sponsored field trip and had to come home, and I want to say at least a foot, maybe a foot and not quite a foot and a half, maybe 14 inches, I'm going to guess. 14 inches.
It's wild to think back on those great snows and the experience of them. Well, the record is March in 2009. Odenton saw about 9 inches on March 2nd. So we've made it past that date safely. But the record is almost 26 inches.
26 inches. That must have been an 1892. What's he throwing up there, 1892? It has to. I want to see what this snowstorm was in 1996. I'm going to tell you that was like a
I remember that
14, 16-inch snowstorm. It was a big storm.
It was the mid-90s. Well, we'll have to check with our fact checker on that one and see if the Roby memory serves. I remember the biggest one for me was in 2002. It was wild that year. And what do you think is the latest date in the season that we've ever seen snow, Eric?
Oh my gosh, I'm going to say maybe the first week in April, because I know a lot of times when you see opening day, Oriole games, oh my gosh, there's a little snow flurry happening out there. So I'm going to say like April 5th, April 6th.
Well, April 28th, you're close. In
Holy
1898, We made it to April 28th with a little bit of snow.
It was cold back in the 1890s. 1890
That's true.
was a very cold year. I remember it not at all. Well, my back is thankful, but the kids are a little disappointed that the snow hasn't materialized in anything this year. But let's go out now to our reporters in the field. We've got many correspondents out there around the county, and we'll start with John Fernay, who joins us from Crofton with our business spotlight on Roundz Gourmet Market. John.
This is John Fernay for Business Spotlight. This week we're out in West County in the Crofton-Gambrels area, and we're at Roundz Gourmet Catering Market across from the village of Walk Chapel South. And with us today is Chef Zachary Pope. How are you today?
I'm great. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you for asking us here. You guys are brand new here, almost. You opened up in November, but you have a long history behind you. And tell us a little bit about what your store is.
Well, we are at the intersection of Route 3 North and Johns Hopkins Road, and we are Roundz Gourmet Market here in this storefront. I started the business in 2004 as Roundz Catering, and now we have this storefront that we're able to do so many more things. Before, we had no storefront. We were exclusively a caterer, and now we get to cater to this community that I live in.
That's great. I happened to notice this week that you were working with the Lighthouse Shelter and doing their Super Bowl, which is great because I love to see a business that's involved with the local community and the local nonprofits that are out there. What else do you do besides catering? And you know, you've got a little bit of market here and everything else. I know you've got some dinners planned. You do a monthly dinner, I believe?
Yes. We built this place from the ground up. The structure existed, but we were able to come in and build exactly what we wanted. And so for a long time, I've been thinking about this place and what exactly it would look like. And one of the things I wanted was an open kitchen. So we have an open kitchen that you would come in and you would be able to start a conversation with us. Not only do we sell prepared gourmet foods to go, we have a nice little eat-in area, but with the open kitchen also, we're able to do cooking classes, very hands-on cooking classes. We also do a monthly, we call it Roundz After Dark. Roundz After Dark dinner is a 6-course, fixed price, prefixed menu, and we are able to do what we actually love to do the most, and that is extremely high-end cuisine. And so it allows us to play around with all the fun stuff that happens during the different seasons of the year. And so we're able to do that in the market area. Then lastly, the market area itself is to sell and show you some of the things that you may see on all those food shows that we all watch way too many of and may not have access to a place to get these kind of items. Well, that's one of the other things that Roundz Gourmet Market is able to do, is to provide you some of the things that are more unique that some of the larger grocery stores overlook in some of their gourmands that walk up and down their aisles.
Well, that's awesome. Well, Roundz Gourmet Market is over here in West County off of John Hopkins Road again. And how can we find you? Are you on Facebook or are you on your website?
We are on Facebook. The best way to find out just about everything that's going on at Roundz Gourmet Market is roundz.com. That's R-O-U-N-D-Z, Z like Zach.com. And then we are on Facebook also. You go Roundz Catering and you will find us on Facebook. There's a Friday special where if you come in and you say, hey, I noticed your Friday special, you get a free cookie, and that will change also frequently. But for right now, we're just starting it with a free cookie if you come in and mention the Facebook exposure.
Well, I tell you now, it's getting pretty close to lunchtime. I'm kind of glad that we're here now, so I think I'm going to give it a shot here at Roundz Gourmet Catering.
Thanks, John.
Thank you very much, Zach. I appreciate it.
Thanks, John. Lots of great things coming to West County, including Walk Chapel South. A lot of great stores will certainly be in that shopping area.
There's more Week in Review to come, including our interview with Olivia Simmons, the new county spelling bee champ. After that, we'll see if Eric and I can spell anywhere near as well as she does. Stay with us and we'll be right back.
What if a disaster strikes without warning? What if life as you know it has completely turned on its head? What if everything familiar becomes anything but? Before a disaster turns your family's world upside down, it's up to you to be ready. Get a kit, make a plan, be informed today. Learn how at ready.gov.
Welcome back. Olivia Simmons joins us today. She's the spelling bee champion for Anne Arundel County. She beat out 30 other students and moves on to compete in the May Scripps National Bee in Washington, D.C. Welcome to the show, Olivia.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. You may notice the setup here. We're going to test your skills, but we had a few questions for you first.
Okay.
Tell us about the bee. I understand you've been preparing for quite some time for that.
Yeah, well, I started studying when I was in like 3rd grade. I just was interested in spelling, and I learned all the words from the champions of the Scripps National Spelling Bee, and that's where I really sparked my interest at my old school, Montessori International Children's House, and I've been doing it ever since.
Tell us a little bit about the moment where, you know, we talk about in sports a lot when you got to hit that last shot or, you know, kick the field goal at the end of the game. I understand there were quite a few times in the match where you got a word wrong and the other person who was left got a word wrong.
Yeah.
What's kind of going through your head when that happens?
It went back and forth. I mean, it was about like 9 rounds, maybe 10 rounds of us just doing that, and it reached a point where I was just like, okay, I don't care if I get second, because it was so tiring, but it worked out well in the end.
And the National Bee, you were telling us before the show, is a lot of contestants. How many contestants did you say it was?
They said like about 275.
Wow. So, and there's a written portion before you actually go on stage.
I believe so. I'm not positive about it. I'm gonna have to see how things go.
Well, we're gonna do our own little preview of that. We're gonna test your skill against the experts.
I'm a world champion speller, Olivia. You got to understand that.
Okay.
At least in kindergarten I was, when all you had to spell was cat, mat, and hat. Yes. But now things have changed a little bit. The words have gotten harder. So supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Can you spell that?
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
We have to go to break. Well, I so happen to have the words right here in my pocket. We'll go over the rules, Eric. I know you want to know what all the rules are. The rules are very simple. Each person will get a word to spell. If you spell the word correctly, the next person will get a different word. If you spell the word incorrectly, the other two will have a chance to steal. And if they do steal, then you're out. So Eric, get ready.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm like Mike Tyson. I'm the heavyweight spelling champion of the world.
I understand you've been studying and preparing for this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just like I read the script every day before the show.
All right. Well, we're going to start with Eric on the far side with the first word. The word is very popular in political circles. If you spell it wrong, it could be embarrassing. Potato.
Oh, my favorite word. Folks, you got to understand that French fries are made from potatoes. And potato was the word that Dan Quayle spelled wrong, but I know how to spell this word. It's P-O-T-A-T-O.
That is correct.
You can find a lot of times in Idaho and states in the Midwest that tend to grow potatoes in the ground.
Very well done. Very well done, Eric.
Now, no pressure. I got the first one right. So if you guys get it wrong, that means I'm the champ and you guys are eliminated automatically.
That's right. The pressure's on. The next word for Miss Marina Hardy is vinegar.
Vinegar, which I also love on my French fried potatoes with some Old Bay.
Me too.
Hits the spot. Bad taste. Vinegar. V-I-N-E-G-A-R.
That is correct. Very well done.
Good
Marina.
job. Nice job.
Thank you.
Now the spelling bee.
The words do get harder, by the way.
Good thing I got an easy.
Olivia.
Yes.
Reigning county champion. Spelling bee speller. Civilize.
Civilized. C-I-V-I-L-I-Z-E-D. Civilized.
That is correct.
Oh, no. Gonna be the first one out.
The ante is raising as we speak. Eric's looking very hot under the collar. All right.
Take the pressure.
The next word for Eric Roby is khaki.
Khaki, like khaki pants, right?
That is correct,
I think
like
I
the
know
pants.
this. I was looking at my Dockers the other day, and it's spelled khaki. K, right? Starts with a K, right?
That's correct.
K-A-K-I.
That is wrong.
Oh my gosh.
Eric is out.
How do you, that's not,
On
how
the
can I be
second
out?
word.
Second word, I told you I'd be out quick. Khaki.
Don't look it up on Google. All right, Marina.
Okay.
The
Marina
pressure's
wears a lot of
on. The
khaki
word
things.
is khaki.
I have a funny khaki story, if you'll
Okay.
indulge me.
Oh, please.
My grandfather's from Boston and would always go looking for his khakis when he
Park in the car.
misplaced them. And my mom would get confused of, well, Pop, where are your keys? She thought he was looking for his car keys, or his khakis, and no, it was looking for his car keys.
I like it. The khakis. Very good.
So because of that, at a
fun.
very young age, I had to learn that khaki was spelled Khaki.
Correct.
There's an H in khaki?
There is an H in
Is that
khakis.
true? Is that right?
That is true.
And now you'll always remember it because it's like
Always remember.
khakis.
Khakis, yeah.
All right.
There's an H in there.
So the next word goes to Olivia. Kerosene.
Kerosene. Kerosene. Kerosene.
Correct.
Oh.
Although a little unfair, because Olivia's father's a pilot,
Yes.
and kerosene is also known as jet fuel A.
Hey, you take what
So-
advantages you can. You had khakis. She has her dad's job. So
What do I have?
fair. You're out, so you can just sit there and look pretty.
You have potatoes.
I do have potatoes. I like potatoes.
All right, and then there were two. Marina,
Okay?
your next word, syrup.
Syrup,
Syrup.
Syrup like you put on
like on my pancakes.
Like on your pancakes, it's a noun.
SYRUP.
Correct. Yes. Now some of our viewers might think these words are easy, but we're going to get there. So
Or very condiment heavy.
yeah, I have a tendency to go toward food. I don't know why.
He loves food.
I love food. All right, Olivia. Scissors.
Scissors. SCISSORS.
Correct.
Why didn't I get scissors?
You
I
wouldn't
can
have
spell
spelled scissors right. Come
I
on.
can spell scissors.
Marina,
Okay.
What about me? Oh, I'm out.
you're done. Do you really want to try and spell this word? Because it's not. Okay. The word is embarrass.
That would have been a great word. Why didn't I get that word?
It's a tough one. I spell this one wrong all the time.
And it's embarrassing when you do.
You need some help?
Yes.
We got a little, this was my cheat tool, but I didn't get to use it.
EMBARASS.
Incorrect.
Oh, double
Olivia
R.
is going for the win.
She could win. She could win. No,
Olivia, the
no,
word
no
is-
pressure. There's a lot of letters going around in your head right now. It's no pressure at all.
She did this
I believe in you.
10 times at the
I believe you
spelling
can
bee.
do it.
This
There's
is
a
nothing for her.
There's like thousands of people out there watching you, but don't be afraid. Don't be nervous.
There are
You can
people
do
in
this.
China watching. right
China,
now.
yeah.
This is a Tuesday morning for her. This is just like a walk in the park.
The word is embarrass.
Embarrass.
It's a verb.
Okay. May I have the definition, please?
Oh, he doesn't.
In my dictionary, I will say embarrass
that's a
is a
stalling
verb
technique.
for making someone feel uncomfortable by saying something negative about
Yeah,
them.
like you're not uncomfortable right now trying to spell this word because if you spell this word, you will
Or
defeat
you're
us.
definitely going to embarrass Eric that you got so much farther in this than he did. He went to college. I mean, you
That's a
haven't been
good
to college
sentence.
yet.
That's a good
I spelled
sentence.
potato
Thank you.
right.
I used it in a sentence.
Better than the
I
vice
gave
president.
you the figure, was it figure of speech? No, the
Figure-
noun, adjective,
Yeah,
verb.
yes.
Yes. And I gave you a definition. So the word is embarrass.
Embarrass. EMBARRASS.
That is correct.
There we go.
Now wait, Eric's throwing things. Now we'll give Eric one bonus question, see how he does.
All right, go ahead.
You ready?
Yep.
The word is vacuum. You have 10 seconds.
Googling.
Yeah, blackberries are slow. You got 10 seconds.
It's got two C's in it, right?
I don't know.
Vacuum. Has two C's? VACCUM?
Wrong.
Ah!
You had to keep. You were. If you just got to phone a friend, you would have been there.
Can I phone a friend? Can I go back and
It's
phone a
too
friend?
late. The game is over. Olivia is our champion once again. We hope that you will be the champion once again in the national competition, which is coming in May, and we will be sure to let all of our viewers know when that is so they can tune in and we'll give them the results. Yes, Eric?
This just isn't fair because I know sports. Do you know sports?
Yes.
Okay, here's a question for you.
No,
Here's a question
no,
for you.
oh, yeah. I take it back.
Put on the spot
She's
here.
got Ravens purple nails.
All right,
This is good.
Ravens
this
purple
is good.
nails are
I don't
good.
like the Ravens.
That's okay. We'll ask you, since Dave's a basketball fan,
She likes
we'll
the
ask you a basketball question because people try to stump me with sports questions. Here's a basketball question for you.
Okay.
In 2007, a number 8 seeded team beat a number 1 seeded team in the NBA playoffs in a 7-game series. The first time it ever happened. Who was that 8 seeded team?
Oh, that is hard.
Yeah, so was Vacuum.
Well.
It's okay. We can make
It's
the
a
buzzer
Western
sound.
I'll
Conference
tell you how to
team.
spell vacuum if you tell me what the answer is.
Golden State Warriors beat the Dallas Mavericks in a 7-game series. They were a number 8 seed. They were 1 seed. How about boxing? Do you know boxing? No boxing. Okay.
And how are the Golden State Warriors doing right now?
Not so good. Not so good. Olivia, thanks for joining us on the
Thank
show.
you.
Congratulations on your big spelling bee win, and best of luck to you at the national finals.
Do the county proud.
Yeah.
Bring it home.
I'll try.
Folks, we're going to go ahead and take a break, and when we come back, we'll have more Week in Review. If you can spell Week in Review, stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. On February 29, 2012, at approximately 10 a.m., officers from our Eastern District responded to the Chesapeake Academy, located in the 1100 block of Baltimore-Annapolis Boulevard in Arnold, for a report of an armed robbery. Joining us now is Public Information Officer Justin Mulcahy with further details on the investigation. Justin.
Thanks, Eric. When officers arrived on scene, they spoke with a 57-year-old female victim who stated that she was walking toward an entrance to the school. That's when the suspect grabbed her purse off her shoulder and knocked her to the ground. The suspect then fled the area in what was described as a silver sedan. Officers canvassed but were unable to locate that suspect. Now, through further investigation, it was revealed that the suspect was inside of the main office of the school prior to the incident actually taking place. He was asking for brochures and information about enrollment. The victim was transported to Baltimore-Washington Medical Center for treatment of minor injuries, and that investigation is ongoing at this time. The suspect is described as a black male in his late 30s, about 6 feet, 200 pounds. He was clean-shaven with short hair and a light complexion, last seen wearing a dark gray and black jacket along with blue jeans. We're going to move on now to our second incident. That one took place on February 29th, about 4:20 in the morning, and that's when officers from the Western District responded to a report of a shooting in the 1300 block of Sleepy Hollow Road in Severn. The female caller indicated that her father had just been shot across the road there inside of his residence. Now, once officers arrived on location, they located the victim, in this case, an 82-year-old male. He was in the kitchen with an apparent gunshot wound to the lower extremity. Investigation in this case revealed that the victim was alone in his bedroom when he heard a noise coming from the kitchen area of the residence. That's when he went out to investigate. He was confronted at that point by an unknown male suspect who apparently made a forced entry into the victim's home. A struggle ensued with the suspect, and the victim was actually shot with what is believed to be his own handgun during that struggle, which he was carrying in his hand. The victim and the suspect continued to struggle until the suspect was able to wrestle the gun away from the victim and flee the residence. Now, a 4-door, dark-colored Chevrolet truck with large wheels was observed in the area, and the truck appeared to have been lifted well off the ground with some sort of lift kit. Right now, investigators are treating this as a vehicle of interest. Officers canvassed the area, were unable to locate the suspect. The victim was transported by fire department personnel to Baltimore-Washington Medical Center, later transferred to shock trauma with non-life-threatening injuries. This investigation is very active and ongoing. It's unclear at this juncture if this was a random or targeted incident. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Western District at 410-222-6155. Now, the suspect is being described as a white male, about 18 to 20 years old, 6 feet. He was clean-shaven with a heavy build, seen wearing a black sweatshirt with a hood and black pants. Now, folks, as always, you know the drill. If you have information on any crimes or suspects that we mentioned on the show, don't hesitate to call, email, or text your tip to Metro Crime Stoppers Hotline. That number is available 24 hours a day, toll-free, at 1-866-7-LOCKUP, or you can text message MCS plus your message to CRIMES. That's 274-637. Your third option, go ahead and visit the website. That's www.metrocrimestoppers.net. Remember, those phone calls are not recorded and callers remain anonymous. You might even be eligible for a cash reward of up to $2,000. Back to you, Eric.
Thanks, Justin.
This week, the Anne Arundel County Fire Department responded to more than 1,400 calls for service. This included more than 1,114 emergency medical calls and 134 fire calls. This week, a fire sent a smoke and flames billowing through a West County neighborhood, and a county fire engine from the West Annapolis station was involved in a collision while working at the emergency incident. With me now to tell us more about these incidents is Division Chief Michael Cox of the Anne Arundel County Fire Department. Chief?
Thanks, Marina. The first incident occurred around 8 a.m. on Saturday, February 24th, 2012, when Anne Arundel County firefighters responded to a reported dwelling fire in the 1400 block of Knights Bridge Turn in the Crofton area of the county. The first unit to arrive on the scene reported heavy fire coming from the roof of a one-story single-family dwelling. At that time, an exterior fire attack was initiated and additional resources were requested. In all, more than 50 firefighters from Anne Arundel and Prince George counties worked about 45 minutes to bring the two-alarm incident under control. There were 2 people home at the time of the fire. However, they were able to escape the burning home without injury prior to the fire department's arrival. No firefighters were injured fighting the blaze. The fire caused an estimated $400,000 in damages. The exact cause of the blaze remains under investigation. However, it is believed to be accidental in nature. The Red Cross was contacted and responded to the scene. However, the residents of the home will be staying with family in the area. In a second incident this week, firefighters working at an emergency incident narrowly escaped injury when the fire engine they were working from was struck by a car at an emergency scene in the Davisonville area of the county. The incident occurred about 9 a.m. on Thursday, March 1st, 2012, when firefighters responded to a call for a medical emergency on Route 50 eastbound near the Patuxent River Road overpass. While working on the incident scene, firefighters had just loaded the patient into the ambulance, who was the driver of a tractor trailer who had pulled off the side of the road after suffering a medical emergency. Firefighters were walking back to the fire engine and just climbed into the unit when a vehicle slammed into the driver's side rear of the unit. The 3 firefighters who were in the engine at the time of the accident were uninjured. However, the driver of the vehicle that collided with the engine did suffer minor injuries as a result of the accident. Marina?
Thanks, Chief. Law enforcement officials are investigating the cause of the accident. The injured motorist was transported by ambulance to Anne Arundel Medical Center in Annapolis. I hope he's doing well.
I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is. Our community spotlight is shining far and wide this week. Next up, Mark Chang is in North County getting a lesson on how to put recycle bins on wheels. We'll roll it on up to Mark.
Thanks to both of you in the studio. I'm here once again with the Chief Executive Officer of the Northern Anne Arundel County Chamber of Commerce, Fran Schmidt. Fran's always good to see you. And the Chamber's always up to something new. And one of the big things is recycling in our county. Currently, county-wide, it's at 40% what goes curbside is being recycled, and that's great. And we're trying to hit 50%. And the Chamber is actually doing a community service event coming up to help folks recycle more often. And right behind us, we have this yellow bin that I'm sure all county residents know about. And Fran, could you tell us how you're helping the community out in the next few days as far as recycling and making this a more user-friendly tool?
Yes. A lot of people have trouble getting these out to the curbs. We all want to recycle. The Chamber of Commerce is committed to helping Anne Arundel County increase the percentage of people recycling. So to do that, we want to make it easier for people to move these 32-gallon yellow recycling bins. And if you look, these are on wheels, which wheels very easily now. What we've done is we've purchased about 100 sets of these wheels, and there are 4 wheels on the bottom of the can, if you can see those, and that gives the can stability. We can fill this can up, all of your recycling items, and then you just wheel it to the curb. So what we're offering for the county residents is here at the Chamber building, which is located right in the center of Glen Burnie, on our parking lot, we are going to be installing these wheels onto your recycling containers. So county residents can bring their recycling containers to the Chamber office, and for a fee of $20, which covers the cost of the wheels, we will have people install these wheels onto your yellow recycling containers. Now, as I said, we're getting everyone to bring their own because we don't have an unlimited supply of these containers. If you do not have a 32-gallon yellow recycling container, you can go to the Glen Burnie Convenience Center located on Dover Road and also Millersville. Get your yellow recycling cans, bring them here to the Chamber office. We'll put the wheels on them for you.
Well, that's a mouthful. I know I can tell you're passionate about recycling. When is the event and what time?
The event is Saturday, March the 10th. So not this weekend, but the following weekend, and it's going to be from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. When you bring your recycling containers here and you're getting the wheels put on them, we will also provide hot dogs and soda. And this is courtesy of our Councilman, John Grasso, who also believes very strongly in recycling. So you do a good deed. You bring your recycling container, you get the wheels put on it, you enjoy hot dog and a soda, you get to see some of your neighbors, and you get to wheel your recycling container home with you.
Okay, well, great. Thanks a lot, Fran. And for folks who would like to get more information about this, what's the telephone number or email address?
Yes, you can reach me here at the Chamber office at 410-766-8282. You can check out our website, www.naccc.com. You can email me directly, fran@naccc.com.
Great. Thank you so much, Fran, and thank you so much for what you are doing. This is truly a great community service because so often we get calls from seniors and also folks who are disabled, and they want to recycle more, but they would like something that's a little more user-friendly, and definitely this recycling bin with wheels does definitely help out. So we appreciate this service that you're going to be providing the community, and we also thank you so much for helping the businesses in our county also do more recycling. So thank you so much for that. So reporting with Fran Schmidt from the Northern Anne Arundel County Chamber of Commerce on their recycling wheel kit community service that's coming up. We're reporting from the Chamber office for a weekend review. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Mark. The easier it is to recycle, the more people will do it. And more people recycle, the less we have to fill up our landfills. So everybody, take that recycling challenge.
And speaking of the environment, our own Jody Leddy has the latest installment of our environmental series. She's up in Crofton to talk about rain gardens. Jody?
Hi, I'm Jody Leddy here on this beautiful day at the corner of Crofton Boulevard and Route 3. Joining me today are Dave Schickel and Dick Lawn from the Crofton Community Association, and they're initiating a stormwater runoff project. And first I'd like Dick to tell us a little bit about what is the problem, what is prompting the need for this project.
Thanks. We're trying to keep stormwater runoff from the rain from going into the Patuxent River. The water comes down the road right adjacent to where we're standing. It picks up pollutants from the road. A great volume of water comes down, and because of the curves down here, the water is channeled right into the storm drain system and then under the road, Route 3, into the Little Patuxent River. And what that does, the volume of the water, the speed of the water erodes the river, carries the pollutants, and actually destroys the biohabitat of the river. And this not only goes for the stream, it also carries down to Chesapeake Bay. So this is an issue for the river here and also for the bay. What we're trying to do here is to bring water off of here, so instead of affecting the river, it goes into the ground. And that's why we plan to cut the curb here so water can come off here and try to get the water into the ground.
Okay, and behind us is Lake Louise, and you were explaining to me earlier how it's functioning now and how that's not the best alternative. So tell me about Lake Louise.
Well, Lake Louise is okay. It's a stormwater pond. Mainly, it's collecting stormwater that's running off of the land here, and it holds the water. However, if there's a really lot of rain, then there's an overflow, and that overflow again goes into the Patuxent River. Lake Louise doesn't ordinarily have anything to do with the water flowing down this road. So in a way, it's sort of separate from Lake Louise.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. And now, Dave, I understand you've applied for a grant to help with this project. And why don't you tell me about the project and the grant you've applied for, and what's your, hopefully, what's your timeline?
Okay, we have applied for a restoration grant from the Chesapeake Bay Trust to assist us in funding the installation of a rain garden, bioretention cells, another word for it. And it will be located kind of just to the right of the brick fixture at our main entrance. And it will capture a lot of the runoff that will come down Crawford Boulevard and through this curb cut. And it will hold that water and allow it to seep back into the ground rather than running into a storm drain and into Little Patuxent, as Dick said. So we're hopeful that we will learn that we've been awarded the grant by the end of this month or early next month, so we can start our construction. And we hope to have the rain garden put in along with some plantings of native trees and plants by the end of April. So that's our basic timeline. And we'd like to get a lot of the community involved in this as well. It'll be a community project with volunteers coming to help with all the planning.
Okay, well, speaking of that, how can volunteers get involved in this project? Who should they contact and how?
They can contact me by going to the Crofton Civic Association website, and we have phone numbers on the website, and just call Town Hall and let them know that they're interested in helping, and I'll certainly be in touch with them. We'll be glad to have all the help we can get on planning day.
Okay, wonderful. And it's my understanding that you've done several of these type of projects and you plan to continue to do more, and that you have some consulting resources available with your experience that you can help communities to help themselves, so to speak. Would it be the same way as far as finding you? Go to the Crofton Civic Association for that help?
I think that would be the easiest way, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So now you see the before of this project, and we'd love to have you back once it gets underway and comes to fruition. So hopefully you'll be happy to join us then. And our friend Mel Wilkins, who was not able to join us today, hopefully he's also an expert in stormwater management. He can be here as well. Did you have anything else to add, gentlemen?
I would say this is in a way part of a much bigger project to try to capture water throughout the Crofton community. People can do it on their homes, businesses, and we have other projects going on right now to try to do that. This is just one.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you both so much for stepping up and being leaders in the community and caring about our community and our waterways and the Bay in particular. And thanks for all that you do for the Crofton Civic Association and the community in general. Anything else from you, Dave?
No, I think that's about it. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to let people know about our project here. And Chesapeake Bay Trust, it's contingent on your funding, so please come through with that grant.
Okay, thanks again for joining us today, and thank you for picking a beautiful day for this interview. And back to you in the studio. Thank you.
Thanks, Jody. We have to get that runoff under control. That is a major contributor to the pollution in our bay, and rain gardens are a great way to solve the problem.
Well, and finally today in our Recreation and Park Spotlight, Carolyn Ryan's going to talk about one of my favorite subjects. That's spring and summer, and the program guides are coming out. Carolyn, what do we have on tap?
Thanks. Well, we're here at the Department of Recreation and Parks, and I'm joined today by Sandra Heisch, who puts together our wonderful Recreation and Parks Program Guide. Sandra, thanks for being on the show.
Hi, Carolyn. It's great to see you.
Thanks. Now tell us a little bit about the program guide.
Well, we put out the guide 2 times a year, and it includes all our programs, our rec programs. It also includes activities at the aquatic centers, also the special programs and events at our regional parks.
Okay. Now you say you put it out twice a year. We used to do a quarterly guide. Now what kind of was the process to changing it to twice a year?
So now we do it 2 times a year. We combine the spring and summer and also the fall and winter. And we always put updates on our website, and all the program information can be found online.
Great. Now, this latest program guide just came out last week, and it is online on our website. And what is included in this one?
In this program guide, we include all our rec programs for the spring and summer months, and also our summer camps, which includes different specialty camps, summer fun centers, camps at Quiet Waters Park. So for all ages, for all type of interests for children in Anne Arundel County.
Great. So obviously this is a very popular guide with all the summer camp information.
Yes, definitely.
Now, this also gets put in, well, where can folks find these?
Okay, you can find the program guide at all government agencies, also Anne Arundel County libraries, public schools. You can also, the guide is also inserted in the Capital newspaper, the Maryland Gazette, and the West County News. And also the program guide is available on our website, the Recreation Parks website.
Great. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Again, you can find this on our website, www.aacounty.org/recparks. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Carolyn. It seems like spring has been here for months, but the real spring is coming in just a few weeks. Thanks for previewing all of the great activities there are out there for our kids in Anne Arundel County. And that's what it's all about, Marina. It's all about the kids and having fun.
It is.
And can you think back, and folks, I know we've got a new face here on Week in Review. We introduced you probably about a month or 2 ago, but I want to introduce everybody again to our own Marina Hardy. Carla Schaefer, of course, has left us. She's back at the University of Maryland doing some great work on some great grant projects for them. And Marina is here in the anchor chair. So welcome, Marina.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you.
Good to have you here. We're talking about kids. We're talking about spring. We're talking about summer. Any memories that you have of just great things that you've done? Maybe it was playing in a little league organization or swimming when you were a kid, but it's getting close to spring. The weather's turning beautifully. What do you remember about those days?
Oh, goodness. Going to my brother's baseball games, his little league baseball games, and being a good sister. Swimming in the Severn River was always my favorite. That was always my favorite pastime.
And any spots? I mean, Round Bay, a lot of people like to swim in Round Bay.
Round Bay, we would go up there. Our dear friends lived over in Epping Forest, so we would go over there and play with, I think half of it was that we had our best buds with us.
There you go.
And just a lot of good times.
A lot of good
out
times.
Enjoying the beautiful, beautiful county we live in and the beautiful resources.
Absolutely. Well, it is a great county. And folks, the temperature, Thursday, it was almost 70 degrees.
Can you believe it?
First day of March. March came in like a lamb, so we're hoping it's not going to go out like a lion. We had one of the stories in there about snowfall in March, and we're still not 100% out of the woods, but things are looking up. Things are looking positive.
I saw somebody, 2 people actually, driving around today with this convertible down on their car, Eric. Can you believe it? March 1.
70 degrees. Go out and get a suntan.
Absolutely. Wear sunscreen.
Wear sunscreen. Folks, that wraps up this week's edition of Week in Review. You can watch this episode online anytime at www.aacounty.org. Archive episodes are available at blip.tv and on YouTube. You can also subscribe to the free video podcast at iTunes or like us on Facebook. Yeah, go ahead and do that at Arundel TV. Please tune in again next time for more news, highlights, and no more spelling bees from around your county. We'll see you next time.